toying around with this little REFINA plazi-flex. I didn't get on with this, I'll be honest. I've not been getting on with this at all, and I didn't rate it up until about a week ago, when I changed the stage where I'm using it in the set. And like many old school spreads, I kind of used it once and thought, nah, it's a load of crap, why do I need to add another tool to the process, and it's not necessary. But to give it its due, give it some credit, what I found with these, they're very, very good for flattening off without removing excess plaster from the wall. And also, if you've got a curvature like this bay window, this is the second coat and it's had a first flatten off with the MT. Normally I would just leave that well alone, but once we're at this stage where you can see it's still, the plaster's still very wet, if I hit it with a wet plazi-flex, it completely loses all of the lines. You show them like this bit, for example. I'll sweep it again. Loses all the lines, but it doesn't take any plaster off at all at this stage. So as you know, if you hit your gear too early, trowel up too early, you're just pulling all your plaster back off. This is more for the beginners and, you know, the newbies. It's old news to seasoned plasterers and experienced plasterers. But I think if you're learning the game, if you're learning the trade, this would be a really good addition to add to your toolkit, because it's very forgiving when you're troweling up. And if you get it just right, so again, lay on, flatten off, wash your tools down, then hit it with this. Don't try and like lay on with it or trowel up with it, because it's not going to, you haven't got any compression with it, because you've basically got a piece of sponge and a thin piece of plastic bonded to the sponge, so when you're putting pressure on it, it's extremely flexible, hence the name plazi-flex. But for this, I'm finding it's really, really good. It's like if you're going over Artex and then you flash over with your plastic speed skid and you get it really flat. If it's wet and supple and your blade's kept nice and wet, I'll just dunk it again. The blade's kept nice and wet, it's quite pleasant to use. And again, I'm still testing it and trialing it and using it at different stages of the set to see where the benefit is and where it can be used. And this is, for me, I'm kind of warming to it. So again, for a curvature like this, you're getting close again, Tom. Try and show them the grain of the plaster. It is very, very wet, but it's not pulling anything off. It's not pulling anything off the wall. So I'm kind of warming to these tools, and I'll do more videos to show you other jobs where they come into play. But curvatures seem to be really good for curvatures. Of course, you've got to go over it again at the end with your MT. I wouldn't want to just trowel up with this and leave it, because again, you haven't got the compression, but it's got its place.